Hey everyone, Zell here, and today we're going to be looking at this week's Nightfall. It's on Cerberus Vae 3, and it's going to be having the modifiers of Light Switch, Angry, and Juggler without any burn, meaning that the damage that you're going to deal is just going to be what it is. No easy way out of that. And today is November 4th, and this Nightfall will be going until November 10th, technically the 11th, but it's only going to be there for a couple hours, so let's just say the 10th to make it easy. With this, I'm going to be on my Titan, and I'll be explaining what I have on my Titan and how I'm running through this and what I'm looking out for, just so you guys have an idea of what to do without being lost. So you're less likely to die, and you're knowing what you need to clear out. So, starting in on the video, let's see what I'm going to be doing here. And this first part right here is the first hurdle. There's a Colossus right around that corner, and he's your biggest threat right now. I have the Armamentarium, which allows me to throw 2 grenades, so that's what I'm using currently, if you're wondering. And there's that Colossus. Now, things are angry, so they don't have any flinching available. So when they start dealing damage, you're just going to have to deal with that, and that's what makes the Colossus so annoying in this Nightfall. So make sure before you engage, if you go low on health, to make sure to heal up if you can, because that's going to help you out a ton. Once you defeat that Colossus, you're pretty much free to go to the next zone. So, getting through just like that, you can see that I'm avoiding most damage very easily, and it's not too much of a problem. So if you don't feel comfortable doing that, clear out the room if you need to. You don't need to go all, you don't need to charge in like that. If you don't feel secure doing something, don't do it. Take the easy way around it. Nightfalls can take a long time if you're doing them slowly, and that's why I opt to do them quickly so I can bring you a more time-worthy video. I don't want to waste your guys' time. That's why I run through these so quickly. So you see here that I'm using a Void machine gun to take out these Scions. You need a Void weapon of some sort to take these out because their shield is absolutely horrendous. But if you do have a Void weapon, it makes it a lot easier to deal with. This Colossus here you can easily snipe, but mind you, he can still hit you with his chain gun if you kind of get out of position, so watch out. It's very important to make sure you don't get hit by that because it does a ton of damage, and you don't want to deal with it. So these Colossus I'm just sniping out. They do a ton of damage, and you always want to make sure that you get them out of the way. There's 3 of them. So, well, along with the guards, there's 3 guards that you need to take out, and that will push you to the tank battle, which is your second hurdle of the match. And there's the third Colossus comes out when the dropship spawns. And as you can see here, all I'm doing is sniping everything out. I don't want to really get my my head chopped off by sticking my neck out too far. So I'm just being very, very cautious, making sure to snipe everything down, and make sure that I'm doing everything as cautiously as I can. Now I'm still moving quickly, but I'm making sure to kill the things that need to be killed. Now, what's going to happen now that I've killed that first guard is when I move forward enough, it's going to spawn the dropship that will be coming in to drop off the second guard. That's why I'm taking out everything right now, is because I don't want to go up forward and then have to worry about everything around me while the dropship is shooting at me. So I'm making sure I can kill everything I can as well as I can. And if you're wondering what gun I'm using currently, if you don't know about it, it's called the Icebreaker, and I'm going to put an annotation up above about that. There's also an annotation for the Armamentarium up there, so if you're wondering about my exotic gear, that's what I'm using. Now, as you can see, I'm over here just taking out some Scions. I'm waiting for that ship to come in, because you'll distinctly hear the ship come in. You'll see me turn around right there, because it makes that low rumble sound, and you're just like, yep, ship here, let me get out of here. So why I'm moving back here is because I'm going to go back to sniping, and that guy with the shield right there, he's going to be the one that you want to take out. And there's that Colossus right there that went off to the right, so make sure you do not forget about him. He is very painful, and you'll see me actually forget about him and get all freaked out and have to run back. I am on a Titan. They have heavy armor, so that is one thing that's nice compared to my Blade Dancer, where I had to be very, very careful. I was doing this around 5 a.m. I want to say, right as I finished rendering my hunter video. I started this one up, and man, was I tired. I was so tired, it was ridiculous. And so I was just making sure I got everything done properly, and I always forgot one thing or another, which made the video a little bit hard to do. I didn't die, mind you, but I've always felt like I was. So be very cautious of the Colossus, because they are dangerous. So that third Colossus rather comes from the dropship, so make sure you take him down. And then continue sniping out all these guys here. There's that third guard. Once you kill the third guard, what you're going to want to do is clear out everything else in this area. Now, you don't really need to if you don't want to, but the way I see behind it is you're going to be using the right side of the map and jumping to the left side. So if something else sees you or tries to sneak up on you with the light switch on, it can very well kill you. So you have to be careful, and clearing out this room is going to be the easiest way to do so. Plus, there's no reason not to when it's an easy battle. There's nothing already up in your face trying to shoot you. You're literally just picking off targets. So, if you're just picking off targets, you might as well clear out the room. Just because it saves you hassle in the long run. You don't want to worry about dying at any point in the Nightfall. And the hardest part for sure is Valus Tariq, but for this part you can get through everything pretty manageably, because there's just... you don't need to deal with the incoming damage at all. The damage that you've seen me take so far has been on my error. And here, like, my error or my bad, like, I'm doing something wrong. I really feel like you can get through this without taking very much damage at all. And that goes for that first room that I skipped too. I feel like if you needed to, you could clear that without any issues, as long as you're sniping everything out. Because you have a lot of backtracking space. You can really run backwards a long distance before anything bad happens. So as you see, I'm clearing out all the Cabal, and now I need to clear out the Scions. Be sure to remember to use a Void weapon with the Scions, otherwise they're not dying, because they have a shield that's almost impenetrable from any other element. And also to note, when you're starting to move forward, once the tank is out, he will still try to shoot you. So be very cautious of where those tank shells are going. And if you're not, see, like right there, I saw the tank shell. I moved off to the side a little bit. If it hits you, you're dead. Like, end of story. If that tank shell hits you, you are dead. So you have to make sure you do not get hit by that. Like right here, I feel like I'm going to get hit, and so I just get out of there as quickly as possible. I really felt like that was a bad position for me to be in, and that's why I got meleeed. It's because I was standing very close to that Scion to make sure the tank shell wouldn't one-shot me, because I knew that the Scion couldn't. Now, if you're trying this at a lower level, I'm at level 28 right now on my Titan. Yet if you're trying this at level 27 or 26, these light switch melee shots will one-shot you. So I'm saying that they will not one-shot you when you're of level. Now, with the tank, how you're dealing with this is you see the tank firing and you jump to the left or to the right. You do not want to get hit by it, and if you jump directly up, there's too much lag time and you can still get hit pretty easily. If you jump to the side, however, even if it lands on the platform you're standing on, you avoid most damage, like 90% of damage. So this is the safest way to deal with him. Other people like to use the vehicle that's back there, the interceptor. Yet it's too risky. You're getting too close to the thing, and you're not... it's a Nightfall. If you die, you're done. I'm not going to use something that puts me into danger, because you had to strafe the bullets, and what if you hit an obstacle? You're dead. And I'm not saying that everyone will hit an obstacle. I just know in my previous experience with that interceptor, it's very hard to maneuver down in that area, making sure you stay away from the tank's abilities, all of them, because he has quite a few. And with this method, you only have to deal with one of them, a giant bullet. It can still hit you and it can kill you, but it's not nearly as difficult as having to deal with his machine gun, his mines, his bullets, and his charge all at once. So sniping it really makes it feel easy. And you just take that down. He's almost done, as you can see. He doesn't take that long to fight. You just have to be cautious and make sure you're not getting hit by those bullets. Once he is down, you're going to be going straight to Valus's room. You don't need to worry about anything else until you hit that. Well, almost. There's one room that might be a little bit tricky. So as we head down, the next area is not part of the strike, so it's going to have enemies around level 20 that do not have light switch. So you can pretty much just run through them however you want to. If you are worried about them, like you might die, then don't do it. As I said, take your time with the Nightfalls. I'm doing it in a quicker manner because I need to make a video for you guys and I don't want to waste your guys' time. So I'm getting through this as quickly as possible so I can have an unedited clip and then commentate over it without taking up an hour of your time. So you can skip past these guys if you want to. As you see, they're level 15, 16. They're not that bad. And we're going to continue right up until the room right before Valis. Now with this room, you're going to have to be careful. I take the left route because you can skip everything. You jump on top of that platform and you jump straight to the room. That avoids most of the melee attacks because that's what's most likely going to kill you. If you get enough bullets, they can kill you, but I didn't really feel in danger with it. And then this room right here, this little pocket, is a great starting room because you can snipe those first 2 or 3 people that are going to be out front. And then everything else that's here, you're just going to take out very quickly. Now with the Valis fight, you had to make sure if you're going to be doing it the way I do it, which is a rather legitimate way to do it. I know there's more cheesy ways, but I usually try not to always rely on them. The way you're going to get past this is by taking out all the ads as soon as they come up. So you're going to have a real good eye about yourself and make sure you're focusing on everything. Because if something gets past, it hurts. These Scions don't one-shot you, but they like to shoot a bullet right before they hit you. So if that happens and that bullet connects, you have a very high probability of dying. Now, how I deal with Valis himself is I get to the point where I can snipe just his head, but he cannot see me. That way I don't have to deal with his Gatling gun, and the only thing I have to deal with is his missiles. Remember, as I said, take down ads as soon as you realize they're there. So with this, the best way to deal with it is by doing this type of method, I feel. And I first need to get past all these mobs to properly show you what's going on here. And as I said, taking down these ads is imperative. If you don't do it, you're going to get killed by them or by something else because you're going to get overwhelmed. So taking them down early is the best way to go about it. So now, as you can see, when I still am not sniping yet. I forget this run. I went to bed and I woke up and now I'm doing commentary and I'm forgetting what I was doing. Okay, here we go. So you can see I'm just sniping his head without him seeing me. The only thing I need to worry about are his missiles. Yet they're not that bad because if he shoots his missiles, I just hide behind that blockade and nothing hits me. And I'll do this until he runs to the other side of the map. When he runs to the other side of the map, again, the biggest priority is going to be taking down the ads, trying to find their spawn points, and making sure you can get them down. I feel like I had a very easy time dealing with the ads because of the armamentarium with the double void grenades really make short work of the Scions, where you just need to do a quick mop up with your machine gun or whatever void weapon you have. And I know everyone can't do that, so you might have to be a little bit more cautious, which I can tell you the strategy I would take if I had to be that way. But the next hiding spot is not here. I was just reloading. But right here. This is your next kind of safe house. And if you do start taking damage, you jump right below me. And I'll point out that spot soon. It's going to be the third safe spot in this fight that you use. So as you see, I'm just listening for anything that's going to be coming at me. They always like to sneak up on you if they can do it, so as soon as you look away, expect them to be running straight at your face. And that's going to be the idea behind this fight. So this part takes a lot longer than anything else, just because you have to be very, very careful and diligent about what you're doing. The second reason is, this is where you avoid the rockets right behind that if you have to deal with them. And as I said, always make sure you are looking for those Scions because you do not want them around. So as you can see, very, very easy to kill with your machine gun if it's void damage, but I'm also throwing 2 void grenades out. And I know not many other classes have that ability. So you're going to have to either stand a little bit further back or something else. Now, one thing to mention is that I am a defender, so I have a few extra abilities up my sleeve, which makes me play a little bit more dangerously, because I know if I get a little bit low on health, I can simply pop my bubble like that, and I'll be done. And I can then recollect and see what's happening. Here, I don't like this. I just went at this. This is the third safe spot right here. I did not like what I was seeing, and I did not want to take that extra damage, so I avoided it altogether. Why that's a safe spot is people don't really shoot in there. And as you saw there was the melee attack from the Scion. It hits really hard, but if it's the only thing hitting you, you can avoid it pretty well. And as you can see, I'm trying to figure out where the hell it came from. And going back up, and I'm going to take out the Scions again. I don't want to take too much damage, because I'm always trying to expect that anything can happen at any time. But these aren't hitting me too bad, so I'm just going to take them out. And I know that he's going to path back around, or try to. He got right there, you take him down, and then you can go back on the boss now. That is most of the wave. Well, actually, sorry, I forgot about these legionaries. This is the rest of the wave here, and he snuck up on me somehow. You have to be very careful of how quickly these guys move. They move insanely fast, and you can't underestimate them like I'm doing. I'm not dying because of it, but I'm getting really close, and I feel like that's just showing you how precise you have to be in this Nightfall if you're doing it in a correct manner in the fight. Because if things hit you, you get really close to dying, and it's not that fun to deal with. So once you take down everything, which the waves seem to kind of trickle in all the time, I never know when they're exactly going to end, but I just keep a really good eye on my minimap and make sure that I'm seeing whenever anything occurs. Now I want to go back behind that blockade. That's my safety blockade. Right, like that. But most of his rockets are being hit by almost anything else. Now, the other nice thing about this spot is that he won't Gatling gun you, which is pretty much the most important thing, is that if his machine gun can't hit you, that's the bulk of his damage. So you can go about pretty much everything just fine. And then we have more ads. Usually when ads spawn, it will dictate his next phase, meaning that he's going to start walking around a little bit more. So if that is the case, you're going to want to just get ready for it. I take the cheesy route and fall in this hole again, so I have an easier time killing everything. However, the reason why I did this is because I heard enemies to my left when I was looking to my right if I was looking towards the center of the map to start with. And I just didn't want to get hit, so I just went down in the corner for safety. And why this is the safe spot is because it avoids his melee attack, it avoids his rockets, and just about everything else. Now here is what you're going to have to do if you choose to use this spot, is that he will come over to this side around half to a third of health, but he won't actually start moving freely until you get him down to about a quarter of health to a third of health. So it's very important to realize that if you use this tactic, you're going to have to be jumping and hitting him. But it's a very simple pattern to follow. You shoot, he shoots at you. Once that last rocket hits, you jump out and shoot him again. And if that is the case, you will not get hit by his rockets unless you speak out of line like I did there. But it's just back and forth. So you shoot, he shoots, then you shoot, he shoots, and then it continues and continues. Once you get done with it, it's not that bad. You're waiting until he starts moving, and when he starts moving, you have finished everything hard about this fight, and you have the Nightfall in the bag. So that's pretty much the fight right there, and that's the strike in its entirety. If you guys have any specific questions, feel free to let me know. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a Warlock video or not, just because these things take a long time to do, and a 20-minute commentary is not easy when you're trying to explain every little tidbit about the fight. And yeah, so I hope this did help you guys out. If it did, please rate, comment, subscribe, leave a like on the video if you appreciate what I'm doing here, and it would help support me in what I do as well. And I'll catch you guys later. See ya.
Got him. I'll let Commander Zavala know there's one less problem on Mars.
Valus Ta'Ark has finally been defeated and the Cabal command dealt a great blow. But in the darkness rising, more fleets will come and new leaders will rise. We must be ready to face them all.